Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at the best revenge stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. My sister-in-law came out as a trans woman when she was 18. My wonderful in-laws kicked her out of the house then and there. They told her to leave the house and threw her out at 8 p.m. with no money or even any documents, and her father took the car keys from her too. She had to walk 8 miles to get to our place. She was crying and we took her in. What? How do you do that to your own kid? Seriously? This doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Like, you could go loving your kid for like their entire lives, and then all of a sudden they come out and then you go hating them like they're your enemy? How? Why? Okay. This is horrible behavior, but my husband and I would have just cut them off if it was all they did, but they doubled down. They refused to hand over any of the documents, and my brother-in-law had to go over and barge into their house to get them. They also cleaned up all the money in a joint account. She had saved up $8,000 working part-time all through high school. They took the money and also sold her car, which was in their name. They were trying to ruin her life as much as they could. What? Okay. They're not even treating her like their kid. You don't ever do that to your kid, ever. They come out to you because they trusted you. You little... Okay. Alright. Wait. Oh, I hate people. My father-in-law is a small-time businessman, and his biggest account was supplying my employer. I had helped him get the contract and it was very lucrative for him. My employer was a family business and they treated long-term employees more like family than as employees. I was talking to my boss about what happened. He told me that if I could find someone within 5% range of the price my father-in-law offered, they would make the switch. My father-in-law offered us really great rates. He was very good at his job, but he screwed up the contract because even though we had always bought from him, we could switch suppliers anytime, but he got complacent and assumed we wouldn't switch suppliers. It took me 6 months of painful searching to find a supplier who would replace him and get us great rates. This was not a major part of my duties, and I had to put in way more hours than normal to find a supplier, but when I did find them, I waited for a month before informing my boss. See, my in-laws had been planning to do major renovation for a long time, and it involved tearing down a major portion of their house. I waited until the renovation work had truly started before informing my boss. We started to get supplies from the new supplier the next month itself. It crushed his business. It screwed his unit economics and he had to scramble to find new customers. They ended up having to sell the house to save the business, and they didn't get a good rate for it because the house was well half torn down when they sold it. My in-laws did try to get the money from my brother-in-law, but he told them to screw off. My father-in-law is a decent businessman, and he did crawl his way out of the hole they dug for themselves, but even 8 years later, they still haven't bought a new house. I have heard they are still sour about what happened. I mean, I was just doing my job, and if they had just kicked her out, they would still have the house. That's the best revenge I've ever heard of, honestly. Like, they didn't even do anything bad, they just switched suppliers. And that's it. Like, if the father-in-law was more careful and more responsible, then it wouldn't have happened to him. And he should have known that these kind of things happen all the time, and he should have been more careful. But jeez, I don't get parents like this. I just don't get it. Why would you do that to your kid? So you'd rather not see your kid ever again? But man, I'm just so glad that her siblings had her side, and she has a great sister-in-law who got revenge for her too. Seriously, it must suck to come out to someone and then they do this. They try to ruin your life because of something that you couldn't help. Like, I did this to an ex who asked me to move out while she was on a work trip and told me she was coming back with her new boyfriend. We were still together when she left. Huh? The audacity! So she cheats on him and she's like, move out, because my new boyfriend and I are gonna move in. And they haven't even broken up yet. What the heck is this? I don't get people. How do they not even feel bad? Like, they have no emotions or something. What the heck? I got these little noisemakers, battery-powered ones the size of a quarter, that emit sounds at just the right volume that you aren't sure if you really heard it, so quiet that two people could be sitting in an average-sized room, and while one can barely hear it, the other wouldn't hear a thing. They last ages and fit perfectly in light fixtures and in wall outlets. I got a box of 20 of them for like $100 on eBay and got so creative all over the house, her car. I even hid them in a boat her father got her. Rich family, and she grew up sailing. That's why. Rich family, that's why. Now, these little things make a noise at complete random intervals. Could be minutes, could be hours, could take a whole day off. They cycle noises like children laughing, a dying breath as they called it, a whistle, scratching noises, some other ones I can't remember, but you get the idea. It was so unpredictable, it was near impossible for someone to just figure it out. Months go by, I get a new place, get my life back up. Now, we had a few friends in common, and one of them I kept up with. They were kind of sour about how she ended things, but they had grown up together and kept up the friendship, loosely talking and catching up on occasion. I never really asked about her, but one day we get to talking and he's wanting to prank some friends on a camping trip, so I tell him about the noisemakers. As I'm telling him about them, he slowly starts making this face, like he's gradually losing it. He's got this huge grin on his face and asks me, "You put these in X's stuff, didn't you?" And when I admit it, he starts laughing hysterically. Turns out her new boyfriend had only lasted a few months and had left telling her that he couldn't handle whatever was going on with them and their mental states. Turns out for a while, they had both heard things and sometimes only one would hear them, which gave the illusion that something really screwed with them was going on in their heads at different times. They couldn't figure it out and eventually he wanted out completely. It was amazing. I hadn't expected to hear anything about it. I rode that train for weeks. When he went away, I got another hit of that high. She moved out, told her parents she didn't want the house and to give it to her brother or sell it. Wouldn't tell them why. I always tell people who ask about her that I hold no grudge and don't tell them the part where I totally screwed with her so bad I overshot the got her backstage and hit the blissful state of satisfied with my work. My wife knows this story by heart because it's her favorite one to tell. Oh my gosh. And he even has a wife now. That's amazing. That's so troll though. Holy. I would think I'm going crazy. If this happened to me, I would definitely think something is haunted inside. Like hearing voices, hearing laughs, hearing babies. That's actually such a good revenge, honestly. Wow. Oh my gosh, I feel like you could do so many things with this. Honestly, when he said she was going to sell the house, I thought he was going to be like, I actually want to buy it because it's probably going to be like a lot cheaper because people think it's haunted, right? That would have been good too. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!